What's up, guys? Welcome back to Blue Clouds TV. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. Again, as I always say, it is a beautiful day. Welcome back to the lovely channel. If you're a Chelsea fan, you know what? This is the channel that you want to get yourself hooked up to. We bring you the latest Chelsea hot news and updates across, and also the most captivating sports news you can find on planet Earth. We discuss it right here on this channel. My name is Nate Zion, your host for the show, and I'll take you guys through the next half an hour of hot issues regarding Chelsea Football Club. Who is in the news? John Terry is in the news. Ramsdale is in the news, and also other news coming from Paul Merson. Paul Merson's talk on Nicolas Jackson. Where do we start from? The news start from John Terry. The Chelsea legend is reportedly considering an investment for the football club. In terms of Chelsea's football club, sources suggested that there may be 10% take available, making this development more intriguing for Chelsea fans and stakeholders. Paul Merson talked on Nicolas Jackson. Former footballer pundit Paul Merson shares his thoughts on the young talented player Nicolas Jackson, Chelsea football player who is now leading a team with expectation due to substantial investment. Merson emphasized the importance of giving Jackson more time to adapt and be more flourish and the Chelsea Football Club to be more successful at the Chelsea Football Club. The last but not the least, Chelsea goalkeeper search after impressing at Arsenal. Aaron Ramsdale. Sorry, I almost said Aaron Ramsdale. Brain, man. Aaron Ramsdale has caught the eyes of several clubs, including Chelsea Football Club. The Blues are actively monitoring the situation with Arsenal at this moment, and with the high seed, they might move for Aaron Wan-Bissaka. It won't be surprised if Chelsea does that, because at this moment in time, Chelsea hasn't really have the number one. We haven't really appointed the number one for the football club. It is try and error. We're trying Sanchez at this moment. We also have Petrovic, which we haven't seen much of Petrovic. Chelsea fans haven't seen much from Petrovic, but time will tell. With time, we will see what Petrovic can provide for us. Before we go for that quick short break, let me see what we have here. Phantom of Minute topic. Big up to you, Phantoms. It says swap pot for Ten Hag. Then my brother here said a second to hit the like button. Then it says Ramsdale is also bring him on. Big up to you, Todd Labor. Big up to you, my brother. It says good morning. Then he went ahead and said Ramsdale is done. He's a good goalie. You guys are lucky if you get him. And my Nottingham Forest has a big game this weekend against Manchester City. Go Forest! Forest have done the impossible. People always talk about the number of players that Chelsea have brought into the football club, but to be honest with you, Forest have done the unthinkable. They've brought a lot of players than Chelsea have ever done. It's just that Chelsea play because the bigger football club, and the amount that they have spent on the players is much more than Forest have spent, but they have brought in lots of players. So, guys, stay in there, grab a cup of coffee or some ice cream, popcorn, whatever, whilst I take you through the next 30 minutes of football talk and discussion on this platform. You and I, we're going to get into it. Send your comments in there. And do not forget to subscribe to the channel if it's your first time joining us over here. And do not forget the button left corner below. The bell notification icon is right there. Keep it active at all time so you don't miss anything from me when I break any Chelsea news. We'll see you guys in just a second. We'll be right back. Welcome back again, beautiful people, Chelsea fans that are watching this show across the globe and across the world. It is a beautiful day. It is 76 degrees down here. That's one of the beautiful days you can get. Nice and sunny weather and the little cool air breeze coming across from the east to the west. So where do we start from? We're going to start from Mr. John Terry, Chelsea legend. At this moment in time, reportedly considering an investment bid from Chelsea Football Club. Sources have suggested that there may be 10% stake available for John Terry development. The more intriguing that I said from beginning. So 10% may be there for John Terry. Look, like I've said earlier on, there big up to you Guland Mustafa, big up to you. This is good morning, Neem. Big up everyone. Bring Ramsdale on, good goalkeeper. Yes, we also have some great news to share with subscribers today, Neem. Absolutely. Yes, guys, if you have any news you want to share with me, be my guest. You're always welcome. And big up to my brother watching us. Guys, we also have a channel which is Blue Clouds Media on Facebook. If you're on Facebook, you can get access to Blue Clouds Media on Facebook. And big out to our brother Bank from Senegal, one of our great fans and from Senegal, watching us live. And he also put a like on the video. Guys, do not forget to put a like on the video if you're watching us live on YouTube. So yes, as we go, we start from John Terry. John Terry and his consortium are trying to get a 10% stake at the football club. It's not John Terry alone. John Terry is coming with a group of people that will get that 10%. Now the football club is trying to build a new stadium. They're trying to put up a multi-club plan, which we've already seen how much Chelsea paid for Strasbourg, and they want to move on. They want to do more. How can they do more? They have talked to other investors in the past, and an investor is called Arron Management, a U.S. investors. Chelsea have already talked to them in regards to how they can go ahead, get some money from those investors, bring more money in. But the money set aside to invest into the players is still there. That's got nothing to do with the stadium development. That's like a whole lot of projects coming on at the same time. A lot of money. Training ground, they have to rebuild. You have to redevelopment the training ground facility, and also the multi-club plan also have to come in. Then also Chelsea are trying to build, not trying, Chelsea wants to build Egbali, Behel Egbali, Todd Bowley, and the others wants to build the best sports stadium in the world or in Europe. If not in the world, something way better than what Tottenham Hotspurs have. So that's where the trend is going. So with that coming in, it's going to need a lot of money. It's going to need other investors to come on board to build that facility. And I even tweeted a while ago regards to what Chelsea. I think today will be one of the days that if they might announce if the other location I was talking about. Let me share that with you guys as for here. There's another location Chelsea is trying to get and attach that location so they can expand. Stamford Bridge. Stamford Bridge. I don't advise Todd Bowley and Ekbali to move the location of the stadium away. The Pride of London, and if you look at England, the most attractive, in terms of municipality where livelihood, people want to spend so much time, people want to have fun. It is all London. London. Everyone will tell you London is the most attractive place in UK. So everyone wants to be in London. And I did tweeted this a while ago. Let me see if I can share that with you in regards to the stadium development and what Chelsea, the area, the land that Chelsea are trying to acquire to expand the stadium and build one of the best stadium you can ever find in Europe. That is what Bowley and Ekbadi, I'm sure that's what they are trying to achieve. So I'm trying to scroll down I think it's been a while since I tweeted that. So I'm trying to find that tweet and share with you guys real quick. So let me get that. And so guys, bear with me. I'm going through a lot of tweets from my Twitter feed. And then I can get that across for you guys. So yeah, I'm still discussing the stadium development and what Chelsea wants to do. So 10%, John Terry is one of these great legends we can always count on. He didn't look anywhere else. Chelsea have already, like I said, the reason why Chelsea are trying to get all this money, training ground facilities have to be developed. The multi-club plan also is right there. Chelsea already have Strasbourg, one of them. Strasbourg is one of them. They want to get more clubs in addition to what they already have for Chelsea. So they've already talked to these US-based investors, which is Arron's management. They already spoke to Chelsea in terms of them coming on board to help out. Mustafa, big up to you, Mustafa. Real Madrid new stadium is lit. We haven't seen the whole development yet, but I saw a 3D of it and it looks very, very nice. I'm not so sure if they're even done with it. I'm not so sure. If Chelsea make better than them, okay, let's see if Chelsea can build a much better stadium than one that it's the Real Madrid has built. Mustafa, big up yourself, but keep Ramsdale far away. He said, evening blue blood, I hope you're doing very well, my brother. I hope all is well. Oh, good up. Mustafa said, big up Metal Face Doom, but why? If not Ramsdale, then who? I know there's a Diego Costa out there in the Portuguese league that Chelsea are trying to get. I think the guy from Benfica, I'm sure that's the goalkeeper Chelsea I've already talked to. Well, Sanchez is not the number one yet, but now he's the guy in goalpost. Petrovic we brought in. We haven't seen much from Petrovic. I don't know when Petrovic is going to be ready for Chelsea to use him. So another problem there. We'll see when Petrovic is ready to be used at Stamford Bridge. So I'm still looking for my news. I've shared that stadium the diagram on my screen a while ago. I don't know why I can't find it because it shouldn't be that far away. It shouldn't be. This news shouldn't be far away, and I can't find it. Oh yeah, got it. I got the diagram. Glad I got it. So yeah, let me share that diagram with you guys here, and we can all, whilst I'm trying to do the illustration. Okay, so this diagram that what happened? All right, this is a diagram that I'm talking about. So this is what Chelsea is trying to buy. So if Chelsea today, if they announce that Chelsea owns this part, that's the village. That's the one we're talking about. Chelsea are keen to add the land one, which is here. The land one to what they already have two to expand land 1 and 2 to expand Stamford Bridge. So this territory, sorry, this is the two they're talking about, and this is the one. We get to find out today if if the land will be given to Chelsea, because that's the only way we can expand the stadium. We have to acquire this land, add the land to what we already have from here, and expand the stadium. And it will be very nice if we're able to do that. It will be very, very nice. Let me know what you guys make of that. I don't live in the UK, so not so sure where these things are, the stadium are. I did talk to you guys much about it, but I'm not so sure in terms of geographically which side is this the number one and which side is this place. So you guys know much better. You can walk me through it and tell me what you make. If you're in the UK and you know much about this area, and also I want to know, do you think that it would be the best idea for Chelsea to expand the stadium and keep it where it is at Stamford Bridge, or would you prefer Chelsea moving the stadium away from there and take it somewhere else where they can acquire more land and open up the stadium or develop the stadium? Because from what I read yesterday, Bowley wants to build much better than we've seen in Tottenham. We've seen us maybe at Allianz Arena, or maybe the Real Madrid Stadium. Much better than that. So let me know what you guys think. Today we'll be streaming for just half an hour. I try to keep my stream much shorter. Blue Blaster, Chelsea have too many goalkeepers, so we need to shift a few before we start looking at anyone else, which is true. That makes a lot of sense. We have Slanini. I'm sure Slanini also who is on loan, and we have that young, I think Bestron. Bestron is the name. Also another young, tall goalkeeper, also trying to develop to be one of the best for Chelsea. Also on loan, we have Petrovic, who also came in. Then Ramsdale also in. So who comes in again? Someone has to go. And I know those young players. Slanini, I was gutted when I was very upset when Slanini went on loan, because I saw what he can do already. I've seen it, what he can do. So why do you send him on loan? Let him be at the club and developed. Let him understand the English football. Let him understand the top flight football. So keeping Slanini at the club would have been the best idea for him and best development for him to already try and understand, Mauricio Pochettino style of play. Does he have any? I'm not so sure. We're yet to see. But Chelsea have too many goalkeepers, said Blue Blood. Some objection in the land could slow. One could slow down things. Okay, come on. That's what Blue Bloods over said. Guys, so if you're watching, you live around the UK area, Metal Face Doom or Blue Blood, if you guys have any chance, you feel like you want to hop on, you have a little bit of time, I'll send in here. Let us know what do you make of this land and how easy would it be for Chelsea to be able to develop that thing easy. And what do you make of this residents that also live in there? And that is what we are talking about today. So be my guest. The link is right there. Feel free, jump on, and do not forget to put a like on the video and also subscribe to the platform if it's the first time joining us here on Blue Clouds Media. My name is Nate Zion, the host for the Blue Clouds Media Sports Show. Okay, so I've talked about John Terry's and his group seeking for 10%. We've also talked about Ramsdale. I haven't talked more about Ramsdale, but look, if you look at Ramsdale's statistics so far, it's crazy. Ramsdale, which I don't know what you guys make of it from Arsenal point of view, trying to swap between two goalkeepers who are so good. All of them look like a number one goalkeepers for each club. So what's the sense of giving each other a 10? I haven't been a goalkeeper before, but I've been a player before. But as a goalkeeper, I don't know how this goalkeeper is going to feel. Like me being a number one, they brought another person in. How would that kill the confidence of the goalkeeper if you have to be switching between just like we do with maybe outfield player, because goalkeepers are not outfield player. They build so much momentum and understand how the defensive line play. So if us now, Mikel Arteta, I understand what he thinks. He's trying to do something new that people don't do. Change between what's his name? The other, no, it's not Sanchez. I forgot his name. Is it David Raya? I'm sure if that's the name. David Raya, I'm sure that's the name. And then also Ramsdale. Ramsdale, to me, he hasn't done nothing wrong. He's been outstanding goalkeeper. Now I even wish I have him at my football club. He's a good goalkeeper. So what's the sense in it? Would that idea kill the goalkeeper's confidence? We're yet to see. Big up to you, Gunnar. Gunnar said, what's going on with Chelsea, bro? Oh, the team right now, whatever is going on with Chelsea, bro, I'll tell you, there's nothing going on. There's nothing going on wrong. There's so much positivity that we can see. We don't concede goals. The only problem is we create, and we're not fear. We don't fear anyone. We play attacking football. We bring the ball to you. But the problem is we have to shit certain things within the final third. It's the goal scoring. So if you're a Chelsea fan and you're so upset in what is going on right now, you should be very happy. The team is good. The team is very, very good. The only problem is the final third. We don't concede goals. We build from the back. Once we get that clicking, the whole world will be scared of Chelsea. Bro, the whole world. There's nothing. So David Raya is the name. Thank you very much, Gunnar. Blue Blood said, Sir Oswald stole is far. Okay, war veteran. Okay, it's for war veteran. Okay, let me get it again. Sir Oswald stole is for war veteran, and some of them might not want to move elsewhere. And then also there is Dr. Cedric there as well. I mean, if we can locate them and give them money, it's all about the money. If you can give them a good place, lots of money being spent, giving them a good compensation, because I know sometimes emotions and histories and feeling with some people, they don't want to move. Not everyone likes to relocate. Me, for instance, if you want to relocate me from my house, you need to pay a lot of money to me because I have so much history on this property in my house that I can never rewrite those histories again anywhere I go. I wouldn't get that emotional attachment. There's so many views around me. There's the train way behind my house that my kids, when they hear the train sound, they run towards the window and then just look at it. And I have industrial plots, lots of industrial plots of it. So there's so many works on my just by my property. So if you take that away from me, you are taking a lot away from me. So buying my property, you have to compensate me very, very well. You get what I'm trying to say? Right. Gunnar said Raya is the better goalkeeper. Love Rams, but the better player needs to play. Well, I don't know what you make of a better player. What else has Ramsdale done wrong that you feel? Look, statistic. Sometimes you don't have to dwell on statistics alone. Statistics doesn't tell all the story. Statistics doesn't tell all the story. Do you know why I'm saying statistics doesn't tell all the story? Let me tell you this. I'll give you a better explanation. Go look at Cucurella's statistics, Enzo Fernandez statistics. Go and look at Caicedo's statistics when they were with Brighton. When you look at those statistics, they're amazing statistics. But ask yourself, after the move from those various clubs, check their statistics again and tell me what it looks like. The reason why these statistics, I don't dwell on statistics, is because Brighton has a pattern of play. They've stick to one manager for a period of time. When you take one player out and you bring in another player, it doesn't change the way they play. When you take Kevin De Bruyne out and you bring in Foden, the style of play doesn't change. They continue the same way because the pattern of play is there. Now you bring Moses Caicedo, as good as he was with Brighton, he's now with Chelsea. His style of play has changed. The kind of players that he played with has changed. The philosophy of the club is way different from the one with Brighton. So many things changes. So sometimes you don't look at statistics alone trying to identify who a good player is. Look at his attribute and what he can do on the pitch, because there are so many players that they don't write headlines, but their impact in the game is higher than other players that write the headlines all the time, like Harry Kane. When Harry Kane was getting all the goals, but then most of the effort was also coming from Heung-min Son. Heung-min Son was doing a lot of dirty work for Harry Kane to get a lot of goals. So it's not just some statistics alone. Lots of factors play a role for certain players to have that statistics up. We don't have to look at statistics, please. So Ramsdale, I'm sure he's a good goalkeeper. From what I saw from last season and how he helped galvanize Arsenal Football Club to that level, Ramsdale deserves to have another chance again. Bringing in David Raya to and then bringing one goalkeeper in to play this game, and the following day you have another goalkeeper. I don't think psychologically it is good for these goalkeepers. It is not good. It is not good psychologically for these goalkeepers. And Arteta, he could be right, he could be wrong. Who knows? Trust the process. Trust the process is right there. And every season it is Manchester City. The bookmakers put their fingers on Manchester City winning it. So trust the process. How long are you guys going to give Arteta to trust this process? He's a good coach. He's a difficult guy to deal with, but let's see. Gulab said our team is good. We suffer a lot of injury at the moment too. Guys, the link is right there. If you have a little bit of time and you live in the UK, what do you guys make of this diagram over there? Blue Blood have said something about the Sergeant over there, and also a place for the war veterans, which he said he said something about the war veteran, which I read earlier on. That is why I look Bowley or Chelsea trying to acquire that portion over there, number one portion or the property down here will be a bit more difficult. But if Chelsea are able to acquire this land, it will be a boost to be able to develop the stadium. Metal Phase, big up to you. He said, Guna, what's your prediction later? Okay, the prediction. We'll talk about the prediction. I know the area well, as my best friend grew up in one of those I think flats next to Stamford Bridge. Big up to my friend Pappy. What's up, brother?
Hello?
Oh, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. How you doing, brother?
Oh, what's good, man? How you
Is
doing?
it Patrick?
Yeah, Patrick.
Oh, Patrick, you always getting me confused. Oh, come with a different name. I remember this name, so I know it was Patrick. How you doing, my brother?
I'm doing well. How
Great,
things with you?
great. What was that again?
How things with you? All good?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm doing see, not the best, but I'll say I'm doing very good. I still got people to talk to every day. Guna is over here who sometimes upset me sometimes and also make me happy. So yeah. All right. My question is you live in the UK, you live in London, you know much more about these geographical location.
Yeah.
What's your take on the development? Would you suggest that Chelsea move the whole stadium away from London, where they are, Stamford Bridge, and move it to somewhere else and get the better land they need to develop the stadium? Or do you think that they should still go ahead and fight for that portion, and the number one, that was as we see on the screen?
Me personally, I'd want to stay at Stamford Bridge because it has all the history there. We've won it all. In that ground, pretty much. And they're thinking of moving it to. I'm trying to think where they're trying to move it to. It's the train station. It would be much more convenient if they move it there, but
To the train station.
what's that? What's it place? What's it called, man? I forget what it's called, but.
I know our friends in the comment section could hear you. Probably could give us an update, guys. if you can hear our brother speaking, he's talking about some straight train station that the stadium, they're trying to move the stadium to that place. So if you live in the London municipal area and you know much more about that place, please you can share that with us over here.
Yeah, fire train station, but
Go ahead.
there's a lot of factors that go into it. Uh, you've got the cross thing that you can't go up, so you're gonna have to go down to like build down to make it bigger. And also another thing is the pitch owners. If they want to move from Stamford Bridge or knock it down or whatever, the pitch owners will have a say in that as well.
Okay.
I don't think the pitch owners will sit back and just allow them to move.
Right, I agree with you 100%. I agree with you. I know the pitch holders got a lot, Todd Bowley, they hold the club, but they don't own the pitch as it is there. Gunnar said he haven't done anything in regards to Ramsdale hasn't done anything wrong. Raya is better with his feet, which is what Arteta prefer. Football can be harsh sometimes, but this is the reality. We have wanted Raya since 2020. Okay, you get what you want, but you got to be careful for what you wish for. Metaface said our team does not reflect a 1 billion team. If we are being honest, the players are worth 400 million, my best. That's from 400 million at best. Okay, coming from my brother Metaface. Gunnar set up 3-1, 3-1, bro. Okay, 3-1. He's predicting 3-1. Let's see how that goes. 3-1 for the Gunners. Okay, Metaface, we'll also have you. Let me ask you more on what's your take on John Terry and his group seeking 10% stake at the football club?
I'd love for that to happen. I'd love it to happen because I don't know who owns percentage of what now, but you got Weiss, Todd Bowley, he's got like 5% stake or something like that. And you got Igbali as well. None of them are really football people, Like none of them know football. John Terry, captain, leader, legend. He knows the club, loves the club. I think it's a great move, great opportunity for Chelsea and John Terry as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, John Terry is one of these outstanding legends we've had at the football club. He didn't think of anything else. He didn't think of building a restaurant with his money that he has acquired since his playing days. He didn't think of buying shares from Amazon or anywhere else. But then he thought of the football club that he grew up playing for. He's one of the guys that came through the ranks from the academy and also have a chance to play and for Chelsea Football Club in the days even when Zoles and the others were there. He started from the bench and he became a captain. Has been there forever, and now he thought of buying a share 10% share with his group, and I think that's outstanding from Chelsea Football Club. That'll be much more. But why do you think Chelsea are talking to other people to trying to help out in terms of stadium development, multi-club plan, training ground rebuild? Don't they have enough money besides all the money that they've spent on players?
Well, when Roman sold the club, he put in the Glazer clause, so they got to meet certain requirements to the women's team, the men's team, and the facilities and whatnot. And they blew a lot of money on the transfers, as we all know. But I think that's a different pot. So I think they'll take as much help as they can get for the development. If they want to stay at Stamford Bridge, it'll probably be more costly because they got to buy the surrounding areas. Then they got to dig down and all that. And it's not the first time that John Terry was looking to get a stake at Chelsea. So I think it makes perfect sense, in my opinion.
Yeah, from what I read earlier on, a while ago, I think about 1 billion was being kept down. was being put down for using that money to bring in more players to the football club. But I think that they have rushed too much to bring in too many players, which the team doesn't need at this moment in time. But
100%.
yeah, that's just by the way. Gwyneth said, "Bro, stop with this motivating quote. You should you should know, as a Chelsea fan, sometimes you got to replace even the players that are really good to win the biggest trophies." That's come from a Gunnar. Thank you very much, Gunnar, for that message, motivational quote. I want you to love you forever. She said there are probably lots of memories at the stadium, but easy for them to buy new land and relocate more affordably for them to do that. I build and build the way they want it. I've asked. I agree. I agree with Metal Face over here, and I don't think that they need to move the stadium away because look at Arsenal. Example, Arsenal from hybrid to Emirate. They've lots of memories, the passion that they used to have during at the time when they used to be a hybrid. When they build the new stadium, that passion is not there anymore. When you go to Stamford Bridge, the feeling to win, the pressure on you in terms of visiting teams is still there. It is still Stamford Bridge. When you go to Stamford Bridge, you go sit down and stand in there and look around. It's like, is it where we played Barcelona? This is the ground that we played Bayern Munich, the first leg.
Yeah.
Or before we met the second leg. Oh, this is the ground that we won 2-0 against Borussia Dortmund. This is the ground that brings so much glory to Chelsea Football Club. So we need to keep this stadium here in London. Big up to my big brother, legend of Chelsea Football Club, one of these oldies that have been there and being part of the football club. They know inside out of the football club. Blue Blood, sir, welcome to Blue Clouds Media.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you now, sir.
Yeah, so it was just on the comment about feasibility of moving the ground, and I can also talk about Arsenal. I mean, yes, I mean, okay, tradition, they came from south of the river initially in Woolwich, but obviously that's such a long time ago. But where they did move, I mean, the walking distance between Highbury and their new stadium, you could walk there easy. They're very close together. They didn't really move very far. Obviously, Tottenham moved even less. They actually built their stadium next door to where they currently are. So none of these clubs moved very far. And this is the argument with Chelsea as well. So yes, other areas have been looked at. Earls Court was one area that was feasible. The Chelsea pitch owners might have agreed to that because, I mean, the problem there with the Chelsea pitch owners is they own the naming rights. So they're speculating, or they basically say that Chelsea needs to stay at Stamford Bridge. If they don't agree to a new location, then wherever the club moves to, they have to change the name. They can't play under the name of Chelsea anymore. So Nine Elms, where Battersea Power Station was looked at, and obviously that was they weren't successful. Roman Abramovich wasn't successful with any bid over there, and that is now a brand new set of flats and shopping centre, and it's a whole new complex. Earls Court is currently was bought by another set of builders. The argument about moving somewhere else is where would you move to? Because unlike America or other countries, if you know the UK or you know England, the travel infrastructure is very much geared towards London. If you had to buy land outside London, even if it was on the outskirts, which is like where the training ground is in Cobham, you've only got one railway track that gets to Cobham. The railway system is geared to take you to London. It's not geared to take you anywhere else easily. It would be you might have to get to the centre of London to get wherever this new stadium would be. If you take where Stamford Bridge is, it has got excellent transport connections. You can get there in London via bus. You can get there by tube. There is a rail train that runs to the right, which eventually goes to West Brompton. But there are two tube stations. One of those, there's also the nearby Imperial Wharf. You've got the overground train, which goes from Clapham Junction, and that's a short walk as well. So you have multiple ways of getting to Stamford Bridge, and it's in a very desirable area. The problem with a desirable area is that a lot of land nearby has been built on. So, that's the issue. But to find larger amounts of land is going to be very hard to find close to where Stamford Bridge. And if you move it elsewhere, you're going to suffer transport issues. It is going to be much harder for anyone to get to the ground unless they live nearby. And you'd probably have to go to a central London station to get there.
And I mean, I understand. I haven't been there before, but I've talked to I have lots of friends over there in the UK, and they tell me traveling, making your way to a stadium. Stephen, who is my co-host, even have to take over an hour to get to the stadium, and it's not that far away, but the means of transportation to get there is very, very hectic, which I agree with you. And also, I prefer the Cape.
It depends where you live on London, though. It's on the district line as a train or as a tube or metro, whichever you want to call it. But the underground is the Fulham Broadway. Next to it is also West Brompton. The station after that is Earls Court. So that gives you an idea. You could actually walk to the stadium from any of those three stations. You can actually walk to Stamford Bridge from Earls Court, West Brompton, and obviously Fulham Broadway is the closest.
Blue Blood, you do know that
Phantom. Let me welcome you. You, my big brother. Okay. Phantom, nice to have you back on the show. Yeah, go ahead, Phantom. What do you want to say?
Okay, Blue Blood, you do know that the entire stadium of Stamford Bridge, every inch of it is in the borough of Fulham and Hammersmith, right? There's not an inch of that property that's in Chelsea and Kensington. I mean, Chelsea and Kensington may be next door. It may be 20 meters away. It may be just 10 meters away, whatever. But every inch of Stamford Bridge is in Fulham. So therefore, the name Chelsea Football Club has been a fantasy since 1905. They've never played in Chelsea before. Have they ever even played in Chelsea before? If they moved to Battersea, they probably would be in Chelsea, right? But if they didn't move to Battersea and they stayed at Stamford Bridge, so what's the big deal, huh?
Battersea's not in Chelsea.
Who?
Battersea Park, Battersea as an area is not in Chelsea either.
It's not in Chelsea either. Okay, so the fact is this, it's kind of like in America, we had a baseball team that played in Anaheim, but they decided to call themselves the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, even though they didn't play in Los Angeles, I
don't get your point here. I mean, if you took the right hand side of the stadium, literally the right hand side where the edge is, there's a railway track to the other side. As soon as you get beyond that rail, so you're 20 meters. Yes, you're right. It's actually closer than that, than 20 meters. If you actually walk to the stadium from that side, it actually says "Welcome to Fulham" just as you reach that bridge where the railway track is.
Right. I've seen it.
Phantom, let him explain, okay?
Cemetery to the right is actually in the borough of Kensington and Chelsea, which is, as you would know, as being in the stadium, is right next door to Stamford Bridge. So it is right next door. But you're giving an argument about it has no right to be called Chelsea. Manchester United. Where is Manchester United? It's not in Manchester. So why is it called Manchester United?
I have no idea about Manchester United. Hey, you know what? The Detroit Lions for Nizan, the Detroit Lions used to play in the Silverdome in Pontiac, but Pontiac didn't have another team though, right?
Manchester United is in a city next door to Manchester called Salford. It's in a Salford city, and that's where Old Trafford is, and they're called Manchester United. And no one would turn around and say they shouldn't be called Manchester United. There's now a football team called Salford, which old Manchester United players are also owning. But Manchester United is not in Manchester. Manchester City is in Manchester.
But my point is, what's the big deal? Since if they did play in Chelsea, and you said, well, it has to remain in Chelsea or something like that, but they don't play in Chelsea, so what's the big deal if they move it a little bit further away? I mean, what if they moved it down the street to Wimbledon? Why wouldn't it? Why couldn't they still be the Chelsea Football Club? Since right now they're not in Chelsea anyways. That's what I'm saying.
They've talked about moving else. If they actually acquired the land in Earls Court, that's actually in Kensington and Chelsea. So that would then be the what you were saying, that Chelsea should be moving to the borough of Kensington and Chelsea, but it doesn't make any difference. I mean, you know the history about Stamford Bridge. When they developed the ground and looked for a football team, the first place they asked was Fulham Football Club. Do you want to play at this new ground?
Yeah, they wanted to move to Craven Cottage.
They were at Craven Cottage. They were at Craven Cottage, and they asked Fulham, "Would you like to move to this new stadium?" And they said no. So they said, "Right, well, we'll make our own football club." And they pondered different names. One of them was London FC. They wanted to call it, and they said, "Well, we're right next door to Kensington and Chelsea. We'll call ourselves Chelsea." That's the history.
All right.
I think financially they would have done a lot better if they became London FC, or if West Ham now becomes London FC, they would do so much better financially. Huh?
I think Phantom Blue Blood has really explained much of the reason why they still have to be called Chelsea. You gave us so many examples, and then Blue Blood came in and encounter you, and I like that. I like that. We're getting educated over here. Education, a lot of education. Blue Blood.
Arsenal get the name from Woolwich Arsenal, south of the river. There's a place in London called Woolwich Arsenal, which is where the Armour is. The fact that they moved from South London to North London and called themselves Arsenal. Okay, they named a tube station after them, but they didn't move to an area called Arsenal. They called themselves Arsenal.
Let me invite let me introduce my brother over here, Mr. Neil Wiseman, the biggest one of the biggest fans in Philly, right? You muted.
Atlanta.
Yeah. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. How you doing? I just
doing
saw you.
Well. Mm-hmm. Oh, your location is in Philly, right? Oh, Neil.
No, Atlanta.
I was there, bro. I was there. I went through my Twitter page trying to find our conversation. I couldn't find it, bro. I was there for like 3 days when Chelsea played. I think when Chelsea played Newcastle United. I was there for 3 days.
Yeah, I was busy because when you're part of the because I'm like up there in the I'm part of the board of the Atlanta Blues, so we had to do a lot of stuff.
Okay. How you doing and welcome again. We got a lot of news that we're talking about today. Blue Blood is here with me, and also my brother Face Doom is also here with me. We're talking about the stadium development and also John Terry's idea with his group trying to take 10%. I haven't heard I'll take Blue Blood's opinion on that. I've heard much about I've heard Patty's opinion, but I'm going to get back to Patty in a bit. What do you think? What's your take on John Terry's trying to get him and his consortium or people trying to get 10% stake at the football club, and then your take on the development of the stadium?
Well, I heard about the John Terry thing yesterday. I'm guessing Saudi Arabia is paying him some good money to be able to get 10% of the club. You know what I'm saying? Also, I mean, the way Chelsea's been right now, I mean, you could put it in, but you're taking a huge risk because I don't know how Todd Bowley's running the club, and we're like 14th place. I'm really hoping we get ourselves up there, but this is absolutely ridiculous. As for the development project for Stamford Bridge, I remember they talked about them buying up the veterans apartment complex there on the left, number one.
Right.
One, and I actually remember passing right through that building before I saw Stamford Bridge for the first time. I really hope that that once if they buy the building, they should please like take care of the veterans over there because that's like their home and everything. But I really do hope that they're able to stay within Stamford Bridge, but at the same time, like how I don't know what Blue Blood. I don't know. Someone over here said it. That it's going to be very difficult to actually switch up. I mean, to expand the stadium, especially since I've toured Stamford Bridge and they've told me about some of the tube stations that are around there, which would make it very difficult for it to expand, especially towards like the back side of the like the left side of the stadium over there.
Yeah.
Oh no, I meant the right side. My bad. The right side where the owners' boxes are.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Blue Blood. Yeah, back to you again. On regards to John Terry, what do you make of that idea of John Terry going for 10% with his group of people?
At the moment, it's just a story that has been going around. I don't necessarily think that the 10% or his consortium comes from Saudi Arabia. I know that there were stories about him potentially getting a job there. Nothing seems to have happened about him working in Saudi Arabia at the moment. He's doing a John Terry tour around the United Kingdom. He's going to various venues like Basingstoke and various others, and you have your opportunity to have your photograph taken with John Terry, and he's doing questions and answer sessions at the moment. And then, of course, he's just discussed this 10%. He wants to try and open it up for the fans as well. So, but that's about as much as I know about it. But that was even discussed before Todd Bowley bought Chelsea. There was ideas that John Terry might want to come in with a 10% back then.
So yeah, he's living to what he said in the past. 10% with a club that he has really, spent so much time with. I think it's a good example for other legends to do the same. If United, to be honest with you, it's so easy to make money from Saudi Arabia these days. David Beckham took a whole lump sum of money from Saudi Arabia and never said a word. He never said a word, but then he took that money away. So yeah, why not, John? Get that money and bring it on board. And on board, like I said, a new Weissman, we did talk about the development of the new stadium, the multi-club plan, and also training ground rebuild. Blue Blood and the new Weissman. I want to say this. Do you think that Chelsea don't have that much of the money in terms of the owners? Don't they have much of the money? Why are they talking to investors to bring in money to be able to finalize this buildings, the stadium, and then the multi-club plan, and then the training ground facilities?
All right, I guess I'll go first.
All right, go ahead.
If there's one thing I know for a fact is that when it comes to billionaires, they spend other people's money and not their money. Let's be real. You gotta remember is like clear like Todd Bowley is the chairman, but he's also the owner of Clear Lake Capital, which is a venture capitalist company, which is made up of investors from all around. It's a firm. So really, when you think about it, Todd Bowley does not have that much cash on him. All the money that was spent on those transfers were from investments from Clear Lake Capital. Unlike what's his name? Unlike Roman Abramovich, who pretty much had so much cash in hand that he was able to do all that stuff.
Okay. Much said. Thank you very much, my brother. Blue Blood, what's your take on that?
There's not really much to add to that. I mean, obviously, there was an agreement when Todd Bowley bought from Abramovich that they were going to develop, whether they, it was Stamford Bridge or elsewhere. But, initially they were promising that they were going to rebuild Stamford Bridge. The idea back then was that they were going to do it in phases, so that there was potentially, because it was some of the other bidders that were talking about moving to Wembley Arena or various other places while Stamford Bridge was being redeveloped. But Todd Bowley was mentioning it about doing it in stages at the time, but it just sounds like he's changed his mind, and there's now talk about going somewhere else for a few seasons, like Wembley Stadium. I know Twickenham's been mentioned again, but that's not going to happen. Someone mentioned Fulham. I don't know why we'd want to share Fulham. Their capacity is so small in comparison. It's much smaller than Stamford Bridge, so it doesn't seem to make sense to go to to Fulham's ground to share and reduce the capacity to that much. You either want to go to Wembley, which has a higher capacity, Twickenham, or some other ground that has a higher capacity. But
don't you think that they can do it the way that Real Madrid did theirs? The stadium was not done, but then they're still playing on the pitch, but one side is kind of like closed up with plastic bags and stuff like that, and they were still playing. Although the numbers were decreased, but they were still playing on the same ground.
Well, I don't really know what was involved in the Madrid. I know that part of their matches, they especially during COVID, they actually played in their training ground next door.
Yeah.
So that was also a possibility. But a lot of the work that I can see, apart from the fact that their pitch can go fully underground in segments to make it a fully usable venue for other things and protect the pitch. Obviously, they built the roof, which means they can fully cover it up, so that their stadium, the amount of money that they put into it. But I don't know how much structurally on the actual stands they had to do. It seems to be more like it's the stadium with some refurb plus a roof and the fact that the pitch can go downwards.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, I actually saw of some of the renderings of it. I'm very impressed of how they do it, how they did it, because at times I just looked at it looked like the same place from what I've seen for years.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing them having a tarp around certain areas of the stadium while they were rebuilding it. I like the new glass roof they have. Is just like the if you ever seen SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles. I think that's exactly where they got the idea from, and it basically looks like a spaceship. And from the fact that that stadium is in the middle of Madrid, surrounded by all those buildings, it really kind of shows that it can be that the redevelopment of Stamford Bridge can be done without moving Chelsea out of Fulham Road.
I mean, if they're trying to replicate the stadium that I saw Todd Bowley, I think Ekbali, I think one of them, I saw him there, and he was going around. So they took him around, and I saw this guy. Did the same thing to me when we came in there as the press guys. They took us around the stadium, which is Atlanta FC, the Bain Stadium.
Yes,
I think the Bain Stadium. Oh my
Mercedes-Benz
goodness.
Stadium.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, man. The whole place is air conditioned. It's all covered up. I was like, what a stadium. I think the home of the Eagles, right? The Philadelphia Eagles, right?
No. Mercedes-Benz Stadium is home to the Atlanta Falcons.
Atlanta FC. I'm
Yeah,
getting confused because I was in those stadiums, both stadiums. So
yeah.
But yeah, go ahead.
I haven't been to any of the stadiums in America, but I have been to both the New Camp or Camp Nou, and I've been to the Bernabeu. And yes, what I've seen of the Bernabeu is impressive, but I have to make out that yes, it's in the middle of Madrid, but it was a huge stadium anyway. You're talking about a really big stadium, capacity that Stamford Bridge, even when it's redeveloped, will not reach the level, the amounts that both those Spanish stadiums can currently hold. So that's why I'm saying I don't know how much had to be redeveloped. I think most of their work was to actually make it a fully functional stadium for all types of events, so that they can hold indoor concerts and various other things because of the roof and the fact that they can now protect the pitch.
Blue Blood and then a new Weissman. I haven't got you guys take on before we go on. Let me have some few comments here. I want to get you guys take on what is going on at Chelsea, because I haven't had you guys on the show for a while. Blue Blood, and then also, so I'll come back to you guys in a minute. Gunnar said Raya starts today. Okay, from I think he starts today. I have just heard that. Okay. Metaphys said, didn't you play PSV last year, Gunnar, in the Europa? Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's individual conversation. Hope it happens again, and forbid you make it to Wembley. All right, guys. Keep if you have any questions, we have a big guys over here. Guys, throw your questions in. I know you guys have individual conversation back and front, but if you have any specific question in regards to what we've talked about, throw them here. And also Paul Merson, I haven't discussed that yet. Paul Merson on Nicolas Jackson. If you guys have heard what Paul Merson said, later on I'll read that to you in a bit. Okay, Metaphys said that even though Chelsea are in the mud, we are still the king of Europe, which is true. No one can take that away from you. Yes, we've won Champions League 2 times and the Europa League a couple times. So we took that last one away from the noisy neighbors, the Reds. What's the young thoughts on Todd Bowley and Clay League? Oh, okay, you're talking about a new wise man. All right, that's where we are going so far. I want to take Blue Blood's experience, what he thought of what is going on with Chelsea Football Club. Blue Blood, please, you've been around the club for quite a long time. You've seen lots of games post Roman Abramovich era and others. What do you think is going on with Chelsea Football Club now, Blue Blood?
I wasn't expecting that sort of question at the moment, but they're 100% committed to this project, aren't they?
They are.
So, I mean, I mentioned that in one of my comments about when you're talking about Ramsdale and also rumours about getting Ramsdale, and I'm thinking, well, you know, I don't like it when other people sort of go on about a scattergun approach about how we purchase. But if we do start going down, then it will just justify some of those comments. I would like to think that we have been picking up talented players, young players that people have identified suit this build. But we now have 2 American. Well, we've got 2 goalkeepers from America. One of them is actually not American, Petrovic, and we have got Slonina, who's on loan. But we also then bought that goalkeeper Beach. We got Bergstrom. We have got Bellatini still, Bettinelli, who we got from Fulham, but he qualifies as homegrown. We still have Kepa on the books, though he's now on loan, and we bought Sanchez. You know, we got 6 or so goalkeepers, and that doesn't include youth goalkeepers. It doesn't include the youth goalkeepers. You know, we've got Jamie Cummings. We got a number of goalkeepers in the youth team as well, and then we got, you know, say Bergstrom is now in the squad, and Beach has gone out on loan, and we got goalkeepers. If we bought Ramsdale and we didn't offload a number of goalkeepers, we would just have too many. And then the question is, if we were really after someone like Ramsdale, why did we buy all the other goalkeepers? We should have just bought one goalkeeper and the one that we wanted.
It looks like the money's just there, just throwing it around, buying this, buying that. Anyone he just mentioned his name, they're going to buy him.
Well, we bought a lot of goalkeeper, not just goalkeepers, players in general. I mean, again, we topped the transfer purchases and the number of players that came in. You know, I know people making jokes about Nottingham Forest. You know, so on the recruitment side, they've kept their word. They're recruiting. The next part of it is the fact that they want to now commit themselves to the stadium rebuild, which is what they said they would be doing. And yes, they've looked at potentially, well, is it the right place to develop Stamford Bridge? How much will it cost? And all the sort of challenges they're going to face. It took a while for Roman Abramovich to get the necessary planning permissions, and of course those are now expired, so they have to go back and seek planning permission from Hammersmith and Fulham, and also from the next door neighbours, Fulham and Kensington and Chelsea, rather, because obviously there was issues with potentially rebuilding the East Stand because of blocking lights with neighbours over the railway track, which is in the next borough near to Brompton Cemetery. So you've got 2 different borough councils to please. I mean, Hammersmith and Fulham are definitely going to be in favour of anything that helps develop the Fulham Broadway tube station and anything else that will, because I mean, some of the plans are behind the stadium, which doesn't show on your map. You know, that they want to build over, not cover the rail tracks, but they want to build over the rail tracks, which are currently exposed. So on the back of the stadium and on the right, there is the potential to actually build over. So you actually the railway tracks are in a sort of tunnel then, and that gives you the possibility of gangways, which gives you more access. The one at the back and where one is, if you go down the back there and you built over the railway tracks, it gives you another access to Fulham Broadway station. And on the right, it would give you other areas to actually be able to leave the ground. So it would help would satisfy Hammersmith and Fulham and various other things about health and safety, that you would have more exits if they were able to build over the railway tracks.
Blue Blood, how can Chelsea fix this problem, the goal scoring situation? Because for now, the team is so good. There's lots of positivities to take away from this team. The team is not conceding goals. We attack everyone that we play against, but then the problem is how to break those teams down and start scoring goals. How can we do that? Then I'll go to my brother.
Well, not one person during the summer and previous to that that we actually identified is a traditional goal poacher. Not one person. I mean, Nicolas Jackson has got lots of good qualities, and I'm hoping he develops, and they sort of signs that he could be the next Didier Drogba. But I mean, Didier Drogba in the first season at Chelsea wasn't a natural goal scorer either. I mean, he started scoring goals, but you know, we bought a whole load of defenders and midfielders, but we didn't really identify a striker who scores for fun, basically. You know, the statistics still say we produce the most goal-scoring chances. We're either first or second. I think we're second at the moment for producing attempts on goal. But then if you don't buy someone who can put it in the back of the net, then you're not going to score those goals.
That's right. Anyway, man, what do you make of that? What's the problem? What is going on? And also, there's a question here for you if you want to react to those questions. That is fine. My brother said that Blue Blood. What do you think about? Okay, not this one. Okay. I think there was one that was being directed to you.
It was about Todd Bowley and what I think about Todd Bowley and Clear Lake. I said, Todd Bowley is just another capitalist. That's it. That's just my opinion about it. I mean, I thought that, when he came in, I was thinking he might spend a little bit because he also owns a stake within a lot of the Los Angeles teams, especially the Los Angeles Dodgers baseball team, who have the highest payroll in the MLB, but at the same time he doesn't have any football experience. Now, also, I forgot to even add this. Even after he bought Chelsea, he was trying to buy the NFL's Denver Broncos, but lost out to the Walton family who owns the Walmart company.
Well said. Another problem. He's buying and buying and buying, but how can you buy too many if you haven't established one? I know the Dodgers are excelling right now. You bought Chelsea. Chelsea haven't excelled yet. Then you went on and buy Strasbourg. Strasbourg, they're doing a little bit okay in the French league. Then you want to move to Germany and buy another one. Then that. A whole lot going on. Yeah. What do we have? The last one said, Blue Blood, this is a question for you. Since a Blue Blood, what do you think about Nottingham Forest? Do you think they have a shot to beat Manchester City, sir?
Someone have to remind me whether it's at Nottingham Forest or Man City, because if it's at Nottingham Forest, then I think you have got a chance potentially. I mean, Notts Forest quite strong at home. I know they beat Chelsea at Stamford Bridge.
Joke.
Though, but regardless of that, you've got some good players at Notts Forest. You've definitely got a striker who can score goals that Chelsea doesn't have. Someone who looks like they can get goals or actually, trouble defenders on their own up front. Man City are already making claims that they're missing 5 very important players, which is not the same number as Chelsea, but they are already calling out that they're hit by a lot of injuries. But as long as they've got the 2 main strikers, Alvarez and Haaland, then you wouldn't bet against Man City winning just with those 2 players, to be honest.
Will you guys? Oh, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say. I mean, it doesn't matter whether another midfield player or so is injured. I just think with those 2 strikers, they're always capable of scoring. They went one 1-0 down yesterday, and then he scored 3 goals, and they can just score, those players. And Alvarez was responsible for 2 of those goals. Haaland had a bad night, but if one of them's not scoring, the other one is.
Alvarez, yeah. People even think that Alvarez is a complete player compared to Haaland. Haaland is not a finished article yet in terms of how Pep Guardiola's style football. He doesn't really fit into that style compared to Julian Alvarez. So that's just by the way. People want Ivan Toney. I'm not so sure of Blue Blood and a New Weissman. New Weissman, would you prefer Ivan Toney over Victor Osimhen? I'll come back to you if you're busy. You okay now? All right. Okay, we'll come back to him later. Blue Blood, would you prefer Ivan Toney over Victor Osimhen?
I think realistically, Ivan Toney is the cheaper option between the two, and he's a proven goal scorer in the Premier League. And as far as I know, he also supports Chelsea. And I know, I know that he's also likes Didier Drogba, but traditionally Ivan Toney as someone from England.
He said he's been talking to Liverpool. He's been talking to Liverpool, and he likes the Arsenal style of play. So, I don't get that.
Well, Tony does.
Yeah.
I believe he's a Chelsea fan, but the point is, if anyone talks to him, I suppose he's going to be interested. But I can see Chelsea making a move for him, and I can see him potentially joining. Is he the better prospect in the future? That's the thing that surprises me, because he's 27 years old and he'll be 28. So you would have said under the project plan that the Osimhen would be the person that Todd Bowley and stuff would look at, because his age is younger. He seems to be they're very reluctant to buy players over 25 years old at the moment, because they're not going to offer them 7-8 year contracts if they're 27, 28. There's players that like James Maddison who Chelsea didn't consider because they thought he doesn't fit our plan, and they're doing really well at the moment. So sometimes buying Premiership proven players works out better than just buying top talent, which is what we're doing at the moment.
Point taken, Blue Bloods. Point taken. Because even I agree that I would love to get Ivan Toney, but at the same time, is Chelsea it's up to Chelsea. Doesn't want to get somebody at that age. Obviously, I mean, I love Victor Osimhen. He's a remarkable player. One of the cool thing is when I was at the Atlanta event, right? I met this guy named Obi, and he had his little baby who was like 2 years old. What's his name? Starboy, if you ever heard of him. I don't know.
Starboy? Maybe not.
Yeah, he's like little 2 years old. He's I already saw him in Napoli training with Victor Osimhen like a couple of weeks ago.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Metal Face Doom said people want Ivan Toney. Probably European football is completely different. He's trying to implement a North American model, which doesn't work. I think he's talking about Todd Bowley. There's no number 1 draft pick in football, only relegation. Metal Face Doom went ahead and said that Toney hasn't kicked a ball in 8 months and has gambling issues. He won't come cheap either. 70 to 80 million. I prefer Victor Osimhen. Victor Osimhen is not, you can't get Victor. The team needs someone who can come in January transfer window. You can't get Victor in the January transfer window. There was rumors last week that there has been a secret agreement on Victor Osimhen to move from Napoli to go to Chelsea with a fee of 110 million. I don't know how true that is. I haven't seen top journalists putting that out there, but those small medias are putting that rumors out there. But I always say, and in any rumor, there is a little bit of truth in it. So maybe there's some kind of a substantiated truth in that, but we yet to see that happen. I think we've covered the last one is let's just wrap around this. We get just 5 minutes to wrap around Paul Merson. I'm sure Paul Merson on the young player called Nicolas Jackson. This is what Paul Merson have to say. He says, former footballer pundit Paul Merson shares his thoughts on Nicolas, young talented player Nicolas Jackson, who is now leading a team with high expectations due to substantial investment. Merson emphasized the importance of giving Jackson more time to adapt and flourish at the EPL. What do you make of that, Mr. New Weissman?
Well, I watched Nicolas Jackson during the preseason. He was amazingly well. I didn't even expect him to get the number 15 number when they issued up the numbers. I know that it's he's trying to get his feet wet because I think did he play in La Liga, correct?
Yeah, he played La Liga. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, play La Liga, completely different system. We saw that with João Felix last night when he played against he played in the Champions League with Barcelona. I mean, shoot. So I really do think I really got high hopes for Nicolas Jackson. He just needs to work on that finishing, please. Work on that finishing, man. That watching him against Bournemouth was just
yesterday. I saw some weird. I was like, was that a shot or a cross? He went way wayward. I was like, what the hell? This guy's tired.
I know. Like I said, man. Like I said, in Atlanta, I did so much. I got to go to a private training session. I literally met like Nicolas Jackson, met a lot of these new players. I'm literally going through my phone, seeing who these new players are. I'm hoping the best for all of them, but right now it's just completely no gelling whatsoever. Right. And we're already about to reach October. I'm really hoping we get this thing going because I do not want to be in a mid-table again. Mid-table was so depressing to be.
It is. Blue Blood, let me get to Blue Blood so we can wrap this up here. We've been streaming for almost an hour, 16 minutes here. Mr. New Weissman, can you stay backstage for a second when we're done streaming?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to get close to your group, the groups that you have. Remember on Twitter, that group. I want to talk to you about that. So we'll talk about that in a minute. Blue Blood. I'm going to my legend. What do you want to say on the Jackson's performance and Jackson as a player, Blue Blood?
I think he's a very promising player. He wasn't prolific at Villarreal. He had a hot streak towards the end of the season, but if you looked at the number of goals, he's not a 30 goals or 25 goals per season person, or hasn't shown that at the moment. He scored something like 9 goals in the last 12 matches of the season. So that obviously made people turn their heads because he had a bit of a hot run. I don't really think, because again, Didier Drogba wasn't really an out-and-out striker. He was more than that in some ways. We might see a better Nicolas Jackson when he's actually playing alongside someone, whether it's Broja or whether it's one of our many injured people. Because we bought the guy from Leipzig and he's not fit. And I think they looked good together in pre-season. I think they, that's where the goals came. I think Jackson works better in a sort of partnership. And I think we bought Cole Palmer on the basis that he was going to fill that number 10 role. And I'm not sure Cole Palmer is also that type of player. I mean, he showed quality for Man City, but I don't think he's going to solve Nicolas Jackson's scoring problems either. I don't think he wants to be the main man. And that's, he doesn't hit the target enough as the main man.
I think you've said it. That's right. I believe, I can argue with you on that. Metal Fate said a big up to Mr. Weissman from across the pond. Absolutely. Yeah, he says big up to you too. Big up me and Blue Blood, proper Chels. Good bless you all, UTC. Up to Chelsea, you too, Metal Fate. It's always a pleasure. Nice to see you here. And today I'm very, very happy. And I'm going to go to bed and sleep. Probably I'll try and see if I can snore. I barely snore, but I'll try. Blue Blood is here with me, sharing the time and lots of minutes here with me. So much love to the legend Blue Blood. New Westminster, thank you. Meta Face Doom, absolutely. Thank you guys for joining us here today. Meta Face Doom, I want to love you. And also Todd Labor, big up to you. Then who else? Gunnar, Phantom of Minotaur, that jump on. Then the legend himself, Blue Blood, Gula Mustafa, all the crew that joined the show today. Much love to everyone. We'll be back again, same time, 5 p.m. UK time, 12 p.m. my time over here in Michigan. All right, we're wrapping the show. We'll see you guys again tomorrow. Blue Blood, thank you again. I'll see you guys again later. Mr. New Weissman, I'll talk you behind. I think backstage. All right. Have a good day, guys. Bye-bye. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Blue Clouds TV.